Welcome to the Religious Studies Podcast. Today's deep dive, well, it's tailored just for you and your interest in religion. You've brought the sources, and we're going to try to extract the most insightful nuggets for you.
Yes.
Just a quick heads up, this episode is AI generated.
Okay.
But it has been rigorously fact-checked by an expert.
Right.
Our expert, Bastian Freiburg.
Yes.
So you can be sure that we're on solid ground.
Absolutely. We're diving into some pretty heady stuff today, exploring the concept of religion's double chaos.
Okay.
As put forward by Pernille Arvidsson.
Right.
She's using the philosophy of Gilles Deleuze
to
analyze religion, which is where things get really interesting.
Okay. Religion's double chaos.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit, well, chaotic. Where do we even start?
Yeah. Well, Arvidsson's core argument is that religion sits in this unique paradoxical space.
Okay.
It seeks absolute definitive answers to life's biggest questions.
Right.
You know, the origins of the universe, the meaning of existence, what happens after death.
Right.
While simultaneously acknowledging that those answers might be impossible to reach.
So, like, religion is searching for a solid foundation.
Exactly.
A set of ultimate truths, while also recognizing that the ground might be constantly shifting beneath its feet.
Exactly. And this is where Deleuze's ideas come in.
Okay.
He talks about chaosmos, this primal state of pure, unformed experience.
Right.
Before language and systems of thought impose order on the world, we try to escape this chaosmos through structures and explanations.
Yeah.
But religion does something intriguing. It remembers the chaos.
So are you saying that while religion seeks order, it also has a kind of built-in awareness of the chaos that lies beyond that order?
Precisely. Arvidsson identifies two types of chaos at play in religious thought.
Okay.
The first, dialectical chaos, is the kind that actually helps to create order.
Right.
Think about creation myths, where God brings order from the void.
Yeah.
That initial void that's dialectical chaos.
Okay.
It's almost a comfortable chaos, because it ultimately leads to a meaningful world.
Right. It's like the chaos of ingredients before you bake a cake.
Exactly.
You know, it's messy, but it has the potential to become something delicious and ordered.
Yeah.
What about this other chaos Arvidsson talks about?
Yeah.
That sounds a lot more unsettling.
This other chaos is much harder to grasp because it lies beyond language and human understanding.
Okay.
It's the chaos that exists before the beginning, before time and logic as we know it.
You mentioned the invisibility of the Prophet Muhammad earlier.
Yes.
Would that be an example of this other chaos?
Absolutely. The insistence on Muhammad's invisibility points to a realm beyond human comprehension.
Okay.
Beyond our senses and ability to fully grasp.
Right.
It's the same with the idea of a beginning.
Yeah.
It's a concept that points to something beyond human understanding.
Yeah.
Something that can't be contained within our neat categories of time and space.
So instead of just focusing on what we can know,
Yeah.
religion also acknowledges the vastness of what we can't know. That's a pretty humbling thought.
It is. And Deleuze had a term for this, immanence.
Okay.
He argued that the infinite and unknown are not separate from our reality,
Right.
but rather woven into the very fabric of existence.
Okay.
This means the other chaos isn't out there somewhere. It's right here, bubbling beneath the surface of our everyday lives.
So religion becomes a way of engaging with this imminent mystery, this other chaos that's always present, even while trying to impose some kind of order on it.
Exactly. It's a constant dance between these two seemingly contradictory impulses.
Yeah.
The desire for meaning and uncertainty, and the simultaneous acknowledgement of the ultimate unknowability of existence.
That's a really fascinating dynamic. But how does this double chaos actually manifest in religious practices and experiences?
Yeah.
It can't just be an abstract concept, right?
Not at all. Arvidsson argues that it's woven into the very fabric of religious life.
Okay.
One example she points to is initiation rituals.
Okay.
Think about the liminal space. They create a moment of intense chaos where the initiate is stripped of their old identity but hasn't yet fully stepped into their new one.
Okay, so it's like that caterpillar in the cocoon.
That's a great analogy.
It's a chaotic, messy process of transformation, but it ultimately leads to the emergence of a completely new being.
But is it always a positive transformation?
Oh,
Are there dangers in embracing this kind of religious chaos?
that's a good question.
Is there a potential for things to go wrong, for the initiate to get lost in the liminal space?
That's a really interesting question. I hadn't considered the potential downsides of this diving into chaos.
Right.
Are there examples of that in religious history?
Certainly think about the dangers associated with certain mystical practices,
Right.
where the pursuit of ecstatic union with the divine could
Right.
lead to psychological or spiritual instability.
Wow.
The other chaos can be a powerful and unpredictable force.
This is really challenging my assumptions about religion.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about dogma and rituals.
Yeah.
It's about this constant grappling with the unknown. Yeah. With forces that are both alluring and potentially dangerous.
Right.
It's a lot more complex than I initially thought.
And that complexity is precisely what Arvidsson is trying to illuminate.
Okay.
She argues that this double chaos is vital to understanding the enduring power and appeal of religion.
Okay.
It's not just about providing easy answers.
Right.
It's about offering a framework for engaging with the very mystery of existence itself.
Wow, that's powerful. So we've talked about rituals and personal experiences, but does this double chaos idea show up in religious texts themselves?
That's a great question. And Arvidsson actually delves into that as well.
Okay.
She points out that scriptures often use paradoxical language,
Okay.
metaphors, and stories that hint at the other chaos while also trying to make the divine more accessible.
Could you give me an example of it? I'm having trouble picturing what that would look like in a sacred text.
Sure, consider the book of Genesis.
Okay.
The creation story starts with, "in the beginning," a phrase that immediately plunges us into that unknowable realm before time and logic.
Right.
And then you have the description of God, who is both immanent,
Yeah.
present in the world, and transcendent, existing beyond our understanding.
Right. God is described as speaking things into existence, but we're also told that no one has ever seen God.
Exactly.
It's that same tension we've been talking about, that push and pull between knowing and not knowing.
Precisely. And this isn't just limited to Genesis or the Bible.
Right.
Many religious traditions grapple with this challenge of representing the divine through language which is inherently limited.
Right.
The other chaos always threatens to overflow the boundaries of words and concepts.
It's like trying to capture the ocean in a teacup.
What a vivid analogy.
You can get a glimpse of its vastness,
Yeah.
but you can never truly contain it.
And this tension is actually what gives religious texts their enduring power.
Yeah.
They invite us to wrestle with these profound mysteries, to grapple with the limits of human comprehension. They don't offer easy answers, but rather a path of continual exploration and discovery.
You know, it's interesting to think about this in the context of contemporary debates about religion.
Yeah.
People often criticize religion for being too rigid, too focused on dogma and absolute truths.
Right.
But maybe this double chaos idea suggests a more nuanced perspective.
Absolutely. Religion isn't just about blind faith or unquestioning acceptance.
Right.
It's about engaging in this dynamic dance between order and chaos, certainty and uncertainty.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that our human understanding is always limited,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean we should stop seeking questioning and striving for deeper meaning.
This reminds me of Meister Eckhart, that Christian mystic who got in trouble for saying he could empty himself of God.
Right.
He wasn't denying God's existence,
Exactly.
but rather pointing to the limitations of human language and concepts in grasping the divine.
Exactly. Eckhart, like many mystics throughout history, recognized that the ultimate mystery of the divine lies beyond our ability to fully comprehend or articulate. And yet this recognition didn't lead to despair, but rather to a deeper sense of awe and wonder.
This double chaos framework seems to reframe the whole idea of religious belief.
Yeah.
It's not about clinging to fixed doctrines,
Right.
but about embracing a process of continual exploration and transformation,
Yeah.
a willingness to sit with the unknown and let it challenge our assumptions.
And this is precisely why Arvidsson argues that double chaos is essential to understanding religion's enduring power and appeal.
Okay.
It speaks to a fundamental human need, the need to find meaning and order in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable,
Right.
while simultaneously acknowledging the limits of our knowledge and embracing the mystery that lies beyond those limits.
It's like we're all explorers navigating a vast and uncharted territory.
Yeah.
We create maps and build structures to make sense of it all.
Right.
But we also have to be open to the possibility that there are things out there that defy our current understanding.
Yeah.
Things that might even force us to redraw our maps entirely.
Beautifully put. And it's that sense of openness, of intellectual humility that allows us to truly grow and evolve both as individuals and as a species.
Right.
We need both the compass and the willingness to venture off the beaten path,
Okay.
to let the unknown challenge and reshape our understanding of the world.
This has been incredibly insightful. I'm starting to see religion in a whole new light, not just as a set of beliefs or practices, but as a dynamic way of engaging with the very essence of existence itself.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I think this brings us to a crucial question.
Okay.
If this double chaos is so central to religion, does it also exist perhaps in a more subtle or hidden form within systems of thought that claim to be purely rational and secular?
That's a really provocative question.
Yeah,
Are you suggesting that even science, with its emphasis on logic and empirical evidence,
right.
might be grappling with this same tension between order and chaos, knowing and not knowing?
Consider the ongoing search for dark matter and dark energy in astrophysics. We know they exist because of their gravitational effects, but we have no idea what they actually are.
Wow.
It's a mystery that pushes the boundaries of scientific understanding,
Yeah.
forcing us to confront the limits of our current models of reality.
So even in science, there's this element of the unknown, this other chaos,
Yeah.
that drives us to keep searching, to keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge, even if it means challenging our current assumptions.
Precisely, and that same drive fuels religious inquiry.
Okay.
Whether we're talking about mystics seeking union with the divine,
Okay.
theologians wrestling with sacred texts,
Right.
or scientists exploring the mysteries of the cosmos, there's a shared recognition that there's always more to learn, more to discover.
Yeah.
Even if it means venturing into the unknown and embracing the double chaos that lies at the heart of existence.
This is a powerful idea, and one that I think has implications far beyond the study of religion.
Right.
It suggests that this tension between order and chaos, certainty and uncertainty, is a fundamental aspect of the human condition itself.
I completely agree. Maybe that's the key takeaway from this deep dive into religion's double chaos.
Yeah.
It's not about finding all the answers,
Right.
but about embracing the journey, the continual interplay between order and chaos, meaning and the unknown.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we're all explorers navigating a vast and mysterious world, and that the most important thing is to keep our minds open to the wonder and possibility that lies all around us.
This has been a truly mind-expanding conversation. Thank you for guiding us through this complex and fascinating topic.
It's been my pleasure. And to our listeners, I'll leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
If this double chaos is so integral to religion and perhaps to the human experience itself, what does that mean for how we approach other areas of life? How can we embrace this dynamic tension between order and chaos in our own personal journeys,
Yeah.
our relationships, our work, and our understanding of the world around us? Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep your minds open to the infinite possibilities that lie within and beyond the boundaries of our understanding.
It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of this double chaos concept. It's so rich, so multi-layered. What are some other areas where we might see this dynamic at play, maybe even beyond the realm of religion?
That's a great question, and I think it gets to the heart of why Arvidsson's work is so compelling. This idea of embracing both order and chaos, of acknowledging the limits of knowledge while still seeking deeper meaning, it resonates far beyond religious studies.
You're making me think about the creative process. Artists, writers, musicians, they all seem to tap into a kind of chaos, a space of uncertainty and experimentation in order to create something new and beautiful.
That's a fantastic insight. The creative process often involves a surrender to the unknown, a willingness to let go of control and allow inspiration to emerge from the chaos. And yet there's also a need for structure, for technique, and skill to shape that raw creative energy into a coherent work of art.
So even in art, there's this dance between the Dionysian, the wild and unpredictable, and the Apollonian, the structured and rational.
Exactly. And I think this tension is also present in our personal lives, in the way we navigate relationships, make decisions, and grapple with ethical dilemmas. There's a constant interplay between our desire for certainty, for clear-cut answers, and the reality that life is often messy, unpredictable, and full of gray areas.
This makes me think of those moments when we're forced to confront a major life change, a loss, a setback, a new opportunity that throws our carefully laid plans into disarray. It's in those moments of chaos and uncertainty that we often experience the most profound growth and transformation.
Absolutely. It's like that saying, the greatest growth often comes from the greatest discomfort. When we're forced to step outside our comfort zones to confront the unknown, we create the conditions for new insights, new perspectives, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world.
This has been such a thought-provoking conversation. I feel like I'm leaving with more questions than answers, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like you've opened up a whole new way of seeing the world, a way that embraces both the order and the chaos, the known and the unknown.
That's the beauty of exploring ideas like this. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about embarking on a journey of continual discovery, of expanding our horizons and challenging our assumptions. And who knows, maybe by embracing this double chaos, we can learn to navigate the complexities of life with a little more grace, wisdom, and a sense of awe for the mysteries that still lie ahead.
Thank you for joining us on this intellectual adventure. Until next time, keep diving deep, keep questioning, and keep embracing the beautiful chaos of existence.